Today we're going to be making pom-poms. Now I'm sure many of you will remember at school having to use cardboard circles and to wrap wool around, and it would take ages to do it. Well, I'm going to show you how to make pom-poms in just 5 or 10 minutes using these Clover pom-pom makers. And you can see that they're all different sizes, from this tiny one here to this huge one. I'm going to show you how to make them on this one here. Same principle for all of them. So if you just follow carefully, you'll be able to make one yourself. So the first thing to do is make sure that you have quite fine wool. It seems to make better pom-poms if you have that. Now you'll also need some scissors, and I recommend that you find ones that are very pointy because they're easier to use. I've got these lovely little bird ones. So the first thing you do when you take your pom-pom maker is you pull out these two clips here. That on one side and the same on the other side. And then you get your wool, and I always start off by just wrapping it round the middle bit here so that it holds it tight, because otherwise it can slip off. And then you hold these clips together and just start to wind. And you wind and wind and wind all the way up the side, all the way around. And you keep doing this. It doesn't take very long. And once you get good at it, you can actually do it while you're watching telly or listening to the radio or even chatting to people. Now, what you're aiming to do is actually get enough wool in here so that here along the top is almost straight, if you can see. So it's almost filled up. And when you've done that, you take those two clips and you push them over. There we are, like this. And now you have the empty clip still here. So you bring the wool round and you start again. Just wrapping it round and wrapping it round until you've done exactly the same on the other side. Okay, so you keep doing it round exactly as you did the first time until it's almost flat across the top. And then you fold this one up in the same way. Now I again just wrap it round a little bit so that it's secured on the side. You take your scissors and you snip off the end. So this is why you need the finer scissors. You're going to hold your clips very carefully with your fingers and snip between the two parts of the machine, just like this. Now do not open up these two bits here or else you'll end up with just little bits of wool everywhere. Oops, hold this down here, don't do what I just did, and then cut through like this. Now the next thing to do is to get some of your wool here. Now I like to suggest that you have a nice long piece of wool here and you double it like this. So probably a couple of feet or 60 centimetres of wool, and you're going to put it round the middle of this clip here. You're going to bring it round. Oh, that's that little edge there. And to bring it round here like this. Pull it quite tight, but hold on again to the clips. And then do a knot. And because you've got double wool, you can actually pull it really tight without it snapping, really tight. And then I turn it over and I do another knot here. just to really secure it. Now the next thing to do is you take your scissors again, and where you've wrapped the wool round the clover, you've got to just snip the little edges like that. Now this is the scary bit. Just remembering though that you've tied it together so it should be nice and secure. And you lift up that clip, you lift up that clip, you turn it over, and you lift up this clip and this clip. Oops. And then what you do is you pull them apart. Now it feels like it's going to fall apart, but actually, if you look, it's a lovely pom-pom like this. Okay, and then all you have to do, you'll find a few little stray bits of wool, or it might be that it's slightly out of shape. There's a little piece there, so I'll just snip that off, snip those off like this. Now you can use it to put on hats, or you can use it for just general decoration. What I suggest that you do though is you can make a bookmark out of it. And all you need for that is, because you've got the long lengths here, you can take 2 pieces of the wool and thread them through. These are called pony beads. So they've got quite big holes in. You might need to twist your wool a little bit actually for this. And then you just push the wool through the holes. Oops, it's still not quite tight enough to go through those holes. There we are, it's gone through, and then you simply tie a knot like this, and another knot like this, and then get your scissors again and snip it off. And you do the same with this end. Now this is the end where it's actually still folded over, but that's fine. Get another bead, thread it through, and then tie it off again like this. That's it. Make sure it's nice and tight. Pick up your scissors and snip it off. So there you have a bookmark, and I'll show you how it goes in the book. Here you have it. A bookmark made out of a pom-pom. So you've got the pom-pom at the top, you've got the beaded strings on the inside so it marks the page that you're on. There we are, and if you have a bigger book, just make the strings longer. You can put more beads on as well if you like. But I hope you've enjoyed this session making pom-poms together.